The Whispering Abyss, Part 1. The forgotten valley far beyond the last mapped borders of the kingdom of Eryndor, where no bird dared to fly and no traveler ever returned, there lay a valley that did not exist on any map. They called it the Whispering Valley. From a distance, it looked like any other place. Dark forests, jagged mountains, and a river that shimmered like black glass. But those who were foolish enough to approach it would feel something crawling beneath their skin, a sensation of being watched by something ancient, patient, and hungry. The air was colder there, the sky never fully cleared, and at night, faint voices could be heard drifting through the wind, whispers, murmurs, soft, pleading, and sometimes screaming. No one knew how long the valley had existed. Some said it was older than the world itself. Others believed it was a wound in reality, a place where the veil between life and death had torn open. Only one man had ever entered it willingly. His name was Eryndor Blackthorn, a wanderer, a sorcerer, and a man haunted by a past he could not escape. Part 2. The curse of Blackthorn Eryndor was not like other mages. He did not study in academies or follow the laws of magic. His power came from something darker, something forbidden. Years ago, he had tried to resurrect his sister Lyria, who had died in a plague that swept through their village. In his desperation, he performed a ritual found in an ancient, blood-stained tome known as the Codex of Nightfall. The ritual worked, but not as he had intended. Lyria returned. But she was not herself. Her eyes were empty, her voice was distorted, and every night she would stand at the foot of his bed, staring at him without blinking. Then one dawn, she vanished. In her place, a black mark appeared on Eryndor's chest, a symbol of a pact he did not remember making. Since that day, he had heard a voice in his mind, a deep, echoing voice, calling him to the Whispering Valley. Part 3. The Gate of Bones. As Eryndor reached the edge of the valley, the ground beneath his feet turned to ash. Dead trees twisted like skeletal hands toward the sky. At the valley's entrance stood an enormous gate made entirely of human bones. Skulls stacked upon skulls, ribs forming arches and spine columns coiling like serpents. Carved above the gate were words in a language older than time. "Enter and you shall never leave." Eryndor hesitated. For a moment, he considered turning back, but the mark on his chest burned like fire. The voice grew louder. "Come to me, child of broken oaths." With trembling hands, he pushed the gate. It did not creak. It screamed. A chorus of thousands of tortured souls echoed through the valley as the gate slowly opened. Beyond it lay a landscape unlike anything he had ever seen. A sky swirling with crimson clouds, a river of blood instead of water. And in the distance, a colossal black spire piercing the heavens. Part 4. The Living Dead. As Eryndor walked deeper into the valley, figures began to emerge from the mist. They looked human, but their skin was pale as snow, their eyes glowing with a sickly green light. They were not alive, but they were not fully dead either. They moved in a broken, unnatural way, twitching, swaying, whispering in languages no mortal could understand. One of them stepped toward Eryndor. It was a woman. Her face was cracked like porcelain, her mouth opened, far wider than humanly possible, and she spoke in a voice that echoed from beneath the earth. "You have come at last." Suddenly, hundreds of them surrounded him, their hands stretched toward him, cold and grasping. Eryndor raised his staff, channeling dark energy into a burst of shadow that blasted them apart. But as they fell, they laughed, a chilling, inhuman laughter that made his blood freeze. Part 5. The Abyssal Lord. At last, Eryndor reached the base of the black spire. There he found a massive throne carved from obsidian and bone, and upon it sat something beyond nightmare, a towering figure cloaked in living darkness. Its face was hidden beneath a crown of twisting, writhing shadows. Its eyes glowed like dying stars. Around it, chains of pure darkness coiled through the air. The being spoke, not with a mouth, but directly into Eryndor's soul. "You summoned me once, Blackthorn." Eryndor fell to his knees. He remembered the ritual, the price. He had begged for his sister's life, and in exchange, he had promised his own soul. The entity rose from the throne, its presence shaking the valley itself. "I am the Abyss." The ground cracked open beneath Eryndor, revealing an endless pit of screaming souls. His sister's face appeared among them, reaching for him, crying his name. Part 6. The Final Choice. The Abyss offered him a deal. Return to the world of the living, but only if he condemned the entire kingdom of Eryndor to eternal damnation. Or take his place in the Abyss and save them all. Eryndor closed his eyes. He saw his childhood, his sister laughing, his village burning, his own greed and desperation. And then he stood. He stepped forward, into the pit. The Abyss roared in fury. The valley trembled, the gate of bones shattered, and in a blinding explosion of dark light, the whispering valley vanished. Epilogue. The legend. Centuries later, travelers still speak of a place beyond the edge of the world, a valley that whispers at night. Some say they hear a lone voice drifting through the wind, a voice that sounds like a man who sacrificed everything. And if you listen closely,